The Runnemede Board of Education meeting is called to order. The Board of Education is in compliance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 entitled the Open Public Meetings Act. The time, date, and location of this meeting was appropriately advertised by notifying the retrospect, as well as posting notices in the Borough Hall, Runnemede Post Office, Mary Holt School, Alliant Bingham School, Grace Downing School, and the Runnemede Public School District website. Please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, board members.
Ms. Adair?
Here.
Ms. Beebe?
Here.
Ms. Davidson?
Here.
Ms. Farrell?
Here.
Mr. Runnemede? Here. Ms. O'Brien?
Here.
Ms. Panzarella?
Here.
Ms. Sands?
Here.
Ms. Spalding?
Here.
No quorum.
Also present, Mark Iannucci, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Sean McCarron, Business Administrator, Director of Curriculum and Instruction, Mr. Steve Peely, Principal of Old School, Mrs. Gladys Hubbard, Director of Special Education, and Mr. Frank Hines, Supervisor of Building Grounds. At this time, I need a motion to approve our regular minutes from April 24th.
I'll make a motion.
No, that's wrong. That's today's date. March
I was testing you, I apologize.
20th.
March 20th. I got you. You could trick me. Sorry. I did. Thank you. Marina made the motion. Thank you. Second, Patty. Any questions? They were attached. March 20th. Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell? Mr. Lego?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Sands?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. And now we are going to hand it over to you, right, Dr. McCarron, or you?
Just
Go ahead.
real quick, I know our Senator Militant is going to say a few words tonight. Senator Militant is helpful in the beginning of this budget. Can I call it debacle now? There's a situation. I don't know if I can say debacle. I don't know. So I just want to come this evening just to share some few words to the board, to the public. So Senator Militant, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Superintendent. Good evening, everybody. I'm Bill Moen. I actually went to school here at Volt School and Bingham School and a product of the Runnemede School District. I must say, the reason I'm here tonight, though, is I wanted to just convey my appreciation and really I want the public to know that as you'll hear tonight, if we rewind the tape back about 2 months, I attended the governor's budget address, and a few days after that we learned of a potential proposed cut of up to $4 million for the Runnemede School District. That certainly was something that was not something I was prepared to see, and so immediately we have reached out to your leaders, your school board president, your superintendent, the business administrator, and we began to understand what they may have believed would have been the issue for this, which at the end of that conversation we all agreed that nothing made sense as to how that number was calculated. So from there, we ended up writing a letter and reaching out to the Department of Education Commissioner for the state of New Jersey, as well as the state treasurer, to request an explanation. And from there, and I think from that advocacy, which started with your superintendent and your school board, we were able to get the Treasury to the point where they recognized that there was an error in the data that they had provided to the Department of Education to ultimately use that to then determine the funding that the district would be providing. Now, we knew that that number of $4 million was it was for this district, but when you think about what the data in Runnemede also meant, that also included the Black Horse Pike Regional School District. And so we weren't just talking about $4 million. It ended up being, I think, upwards of $5.2 or $5.3 million, that if nobody raised that alarm, we don't know if that would have ever been caught. And the sad thing is that while we were able to find that and get that fixed for this district, the sad thing is that there are still other districts that are not necessarily in a place where they're going to be able to be on the plus side. And so we are still working on those issues. And so this was important for us to understand what happened, and we're certainly going to continue to look at this and know how that occurred and fix that for years to come. But there's still conversations that are happening about how we make whole some of the other municipalities that may have been shortchanged through the school funding formula. But I did want to come here personally and commend the school board and the school district leadership for the level of communication and also for the advocacy that you all provided to us that let us then take that momentum to the state Department of Education, which then again sent us over to the Department of Treasury, which allowed for us to find out truly what had happened here. And so with that said, and I'm sure you'll probably talk about this tonight, we're happy to see that it sounds like we went from a $4 million decrease to somewhere upwards of over $800,000 of an increase from last year's budget, which, including that with the Black Horse Pike Regional increase, thankfully that puts us in a much better place to make decisions on how we're going to govern and run the school district through the next year. And so with that, I just wanted to again say thank you, and I think this is a positive example. Really, that's what it is. We know that a rising tide lifts all boats, and And so with that, I want to thank you all again, and if there's anything that we can be doing in the days to come as you all are figuring out your next steps, don't hesitate to reach out. Certainly up in Trenton at the State House, we're going to be, as I mentioned earlier, figuring out how we're going to make not just this example, but some of the other examples around the state, make that part of the discussions of how to make this right for next year. There's a short-term solution that needs to be found for some of the school districts that are on the red side of the ledger for this year, but there's also a long-term issue that we need to figure out. And that's something that only happens with conversations with the school districts. And so I just wanted to stop by tonight. I have a 7 o'clock meeting across town, but I just wanted to say thank you, and I'm looking forward to the conversations ahead and the work we can do together. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, so we will then turn it over to Dr. Karen for a presentation. There are some slow. Usually it's the same thing as we saw last month. Let's do the next some concrete numbers. Karen will highlight what's changed and make that work. Take it away, Dr. Karen.
So just as a summary of where we were, I'm going to gloss over this because everyone's aware since we've gone over this multiple times. So we received a state aid decrease of 56%. One of the things that Assemblyman Melody talked about is looking at the state aid formula moving forward and what that means. The one thing that I'm hoping they take away from that conversation that we did have with all the politicians who were involved was that maybe moving forward when districts lose or gain state aid, that there's a cap on the amount of state aid that they can lose within a given year or that they can gain. So just like we're only allowed to take a 2% increase on our tax levy, and that is a cap. If they were to say you can only gain an additional 10% to your state aid, or you can only lose an additional 10% to your state aid, that would at least ensure the fact that you're not plummeting an entire school district and wiping out your staff and the programs you have in place, and we give school districts more time to really get all of their things in order. On March 1st through 15th, we participated in multiple local, county, and state meetings to discuss the reduction of state aid, and that diagram right there just shows the consistency that Runnemede has had in all of those areas, which are all points that encompass state aid as a whole. The issue with our state aid was due to the district income, so when you do your taxes in Runnemede and you put in the municipal code of 043L, that is a number they pull, and it's a number they pull from 3 years prior. So the number that they were pulling from for this year's data was from 2021. The number they gave us was 356 million. You can see that from the years prior, it went from 141 million, 152, 144, 356. It was a $200 million jump. All of us would know who the $200 million individual was in the town if they moved into Runnemede. So the district income for 24-25 was revised on April 5th to 154,808,830, which is what they said it was. So you can see it increased by $10 million. Makes a lot more sense than $200 million. And our saving numbers were corrected to reflect that amount. If you look in the right-hand column, so these are points of interest that we talked about before. Health insurance is an increase of 9%. Staffing, there's no additional positions, possible movement with resignations or retirements. Facility upgrades and capital reserves, we talked about the fact that that was separate funding that we have put aside so we can do work on the district in the different buildings throughout, so asphalt, flooring, HVAC, building repairs. The funding piece, equalization aid in 23-24 was $6,260,754. The 24-25 revised amount was $6,826,187. So the increase from the prior year was $565,433. So not only did we get the 4.1 that was lost back, but then when they actually did the correct calculation, it was an increase of 565 based on the numbers that they used for the formula. The entire time through this process, the Department of Education continued to say, our formula is correct. Our formula is correct, which we understood. The numbers they received, the data they were putting into the formula was incorrect. So once they got that correct number, everything smoothed out. In here, all other areas remained unchanged. PA funding supports 8 classrooms, 7 at Olds, 1 at Bingham. And then of course we have our revenue generating areas that we're able to bring money into the district, which is food service, before and after care, and also transportation, which we have taken over and added on to throughout the years. For 24-25, last time we spoke, I was going to have to take banked cap from 21-22, 22-23, 23-24. That has been pulled out of this budget. So Runnemede School District is not taking banked cap. So you can see in 21-22 we had 150,000 in banked cap. In 22-23 we had 37,000. In 23-24 we had 215,000. I would like to make something very clear and on the record for everyone. I have always taken the 2% I'm able to take every year in the tax levy. Everything in a school district, salaries, health benefits, general costs are increasing more than 2%. 2% is the bare minimum. We are not going out for any additional funding. The only reason why I did not take 2% in those 3 years, because that's the only time you create bank cap, is when you don't take 2%, is because we received the ARP ESSER CARES funding during COVID. We received CARES, ARP ESSER 2, ARP ESSER 3. So once again, the reason why there's money there is because we did not take money when we received the additional federal funding, which all expires as of September 30th of this year. The bank cap of 21-22 of $150,000 expires. By us not taking that money this year, we are never able to take that money again. It goes away, it is no longer on the table. That money is directly correlated to the tax dollars that taxpayers pay is the banked cap. So let's say we have a budget shortfall next year. Not something we want. The numbers, the only banked cap we're able to take would be the 37,000 and the 215. Next year, the 37,000 will expire. The year after that, 25-26, it would be the 215,000. Is that clear? In this tax levy, you'll see the tax levy for 23-24 was $7,807,323. We are able to take an enrollment adjustment because we had an increase in student enrollment, which allowed us an additional $53,000. And then there's a 2% increase, which we are permitted to take, which brings us to $8,017,642. Any questions on those numbers? So with the 2% increase in tax levy, bringing us to $8,017,642, which compared to the following year is a $153,000 increase in what we are getting from the taxpayers. In 23-24, the rate was 1.538, at the average home cost being $148,744, which meant in elementary school taxes, the average homeowner was paying $2,288 per year in elementary school tax. In 24-25, the rate is 1.572. The average home cost is $149,043. So the average home in Runnemede will be paying $2,343 per year in elementary school tax, which is a $55 increase for the year in elementary school taxes that are going up. Questions on any of those? These are the slides I had to add into the presentation. We weren't there last month. For the facility project upgrades, this is coming out of our capital reserve money. So that is flooring, HVAC, asphalt, building upgrades, and doors. That comes to $1 million. Also, this is money that we will have as of July 1st, and we'll be able to use and spend within that budget. A breakdown of the budget, the total cost of this budget is $20,456,758. So revenue, money coming in, we have the tax levy, we have state aid. Other and special revenue fund are all grant funds that we receive. So when you see the $1,612,774 and when you see the $2,552,710, those are grant funds that we have in addition to the state aid and the tax levy. And you'll see expenses money going out. Those two numbers have to equal, which brings our revenue and appropriation side together. Any questions on the budget? This is also the time that the public is able to ask any questions they have on the budget or any statements they would like to make before we take a roll call vote for the approval of the 24-25 budget.
Any board members or any members of the public here tonight have any questions on the budget?
I have a question. My name is Anne.
On the budget?
On the budget,
Okay,
yes.
yes.
Oh, yeah. My name is Anne Marie DeFalco. With the grants, are those year limited grants? Is it like something that is sustainable? Is there a plan for when those grants expire?
So while some are year limited, so for example, the ARPS grant that I brought up, that expires September 30th. So all of the funds have to be spent no later than September 30th of 2024. Then you have other state grants like Title I, Title II, Title III, Title IV. You have your IDA grant, and then you also have your preschool education aid grant. Those grants are sustainable from year to year. That money and funding has not gone down. When I do that budget as a business administrator, I'm told to budget, because I don't get those numbers until June, I'm told to budget a 20% decrease.
Okay.
So expect a 20% decrease. You normally never see a 20% decrease, and then when we get those funds in June, that then gets plugged into the budget. So even when I showed what that final number was, $20,456,758, that number might fluctuate over the course of the year, depending on other money that comes into the district, other money that we move over, all those other things. But the grants are sustainable. Many districts, if you hear, so for example, you'll hear other school districts talking about letting people go. Many times with the ARPS or with the COVID CARES funds that were given, many positions were hired under those funds. You hire those positions, it's great for 1 to 2 years, but unfortunately what happens after those 1 to 2 years is it isn't sustainable, and those individuals unfortunately are let go, which is what you don't want, because you want to make sure whatever programming you bring into the district is sustainable over the long haul. Did that answer that question?
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions? Do you have anything to add, Mr. Runnemede?
I do not. I want to thank Dr. McCarron as well as everyone else for their input, and the updates. The year's going back a little bit since we got that money. Swords, so we're happy about that.
Okay, all right, then we at this time will need a motion to approve the 2024-2025 budget. Motion made by Patty.
Second?
Second by Naomi. I just asked if there was any questions. There was none. Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lego? Yes. Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
At this time, we don't have any correspondence that I'm aware of. Any public comments on agenda items? Anyone have any questions on the agenda? No? Okay, Mr. Arnucci, Superintendent's report.
Good evening, everyone. Again, district enrollments maintain steady. Numbers haven't changed since last month. We are now officially planning end-of-year activities as well as things for next year. Some correspondence has gone out from all three schools, I believe, regarding and for both would be graduation trip, 8th grade dance, graduation, things like that. Elementary school, things like, I know that your science fair recently, they had some trips coming up, they have their spring performances that have been going on, a lot of stuff's being communicated. We also got some transitional programming, pre-K and K, 3rd grade over to 4th grade, and then 8th grade over to the high school. We try to coordinate those activities with all the schools involved. So it's good. Summer programming, it was posted, I believe, last week.
Summer camp is posted,
Yes.
as
So
far as before and after care, and
Yeah.
our 12th break.
So that would be Monday, June 24th through August 9th this year. Camp will be closed for the 4th of July holiday on the 4th and 5th. We try to coordinate other things with the Carolina Police, does our police academy.
They're doing it at Harry
Harry
Williams.
Williams, we're trying to, are they doing 2 weeks again?
No, 1 week. The week of June.
So we try to make sure kids are doing that, and we try to.
It's the week of June 24th, so that
Yes.
was maybe like.
Yes, so I appreciate their input as well. We are posted employment opportunities, we have a couple of resignations on tonight's board agenda, those jobs will be posted that haven't been already. So we'll start interviewing, hopefully get some people for the May board meeting to be for next year. We're in the process of some evaluations with staff. If there were any type of transfers within the school building, those things aren't board approved. Because the teachers moved from Downey School to Bolt School or something, that would be approved later on in the spring or in the summer. So we do have stuff posted, see if we have people for jobs. Those stuff good. Again, transition programs, I know we have some things going on with the Camden County Prosecutor's Office. So yesterday, I attended the assembly, thanks to Mr. Peely over there. We're setting that up, about cyber bullying as well as other things where I wanted to go home and take both my kids' phones from them. So if you're
We must have need that in 3rd grade.
well, the good thing is, I got an email today from the Chief of Police and Ms. Yezi. They're also coming out to the elementary schools.
I sent it to
They're doing some assemblies. It won't be to the in-depth of what the middle school was, but I think they're having a K-9 come out as well, do some things. So get some pictures of that. So good stuff coming up. NJSLA is coming up the week of May 13th for the elementary school, grades 3 to 5, and then May 13th. 20th for grades 6 to 8. So we can coordinate with the teachers, make sure they have to be trained each year on protocols for testing. There's things taking place and sign off. The training's a little bit easier now, it's all digitally based. It's not so collecting booklets and Karen sharpening pencils at 5 o'clock at night and all that kind of good stuff. So, Budget County Submission, again, Dr. Karen, I have to give him all the credit in the world for his staunch, I don't know how to say it.
Diligence.
Yes, that's a good word, diligence. And I hate to give him credit for most things, but he really did a great job. He was relentless. He would correspond sometimes, evenings and weekends on different things. And he got phone calls back from people who didn't want to talk to him. But I think they were just tired of all his messages or how he was calling the office next door and bothering them. And he really did a great job. And again, something else as well. The Dr. So if he's called away to testify on how that this week, one of the local media outlets did reach out to us, and I gave a response. We weren't doing anything out of the ordinary. Unfortunately, the district's going to lose money. We just were in something to be involved in.
Our number was actually incorrect, so a lot of other districts have been denied all of their funding to receive back because their numbers were accurate. So that's what
Especially
it
some
goes back to.
local, smaller districts too, so
It's
that's
tough.
touching.
So when I see them, they get mad. I said, look, it's not mine. I feel I empathize with them. I feel bad for them. But we were really, we didn't do anything magical. We just said, look, this number's wrong. We need to grow. So thank you, Dr. Karen. Upcoming events. I know I did jot some other things down I did tell you about. Art show's coming up. I was over at the end of the day. They were decorating the hallways and we were doing the same things. If you have a chance to attend that, I know I should specifically not pass that out. That's a fun event to do too. There's some other interactive things that they do. Kids will do a great job. School trips. Again, thank you to the PTA for coordinating those efforts of school trips. We're trying to pass some of that stuff up. We've had some good weather for those field trips, so which is not always the last couple of weeks, not always been possible. It's always been out for us. So it's going well. So that's all I have for you tonight.
And you did, Mark did ask that if you were attending to the graduation, to please let Mr. Peely know as well.
If you'd like to sit and have the wind blow us off the stage again, sure. Once Frank Meek constructs some, any of that leftover plastic from the last couple of years, we can build
That is the windiest night of every year.
Always.
So if you do want to attend, always welcome. Mr. Peeling,
Mr. Wheeler, I'll be there.
any questions?
All right, Dr. McCarron?
Of course, as you can see, we did the presentation for budget, so that's been a big thing in my office. In terms of curriculum, we are in full swing with testing. The access testing is done, which was our multilingual learners, Ms. Humphrey and I have been going back and forth multiple times every day regarding DLM testing and JSLA testing and modifications and making sure everything is in correctly, because the second you push start, you cannot change anything. Like, you are stuck in that module, and you gotta make sure everything's right from the get-go. In terms of curriculum, math and language arts are two curriculums that they just came out with updates this past November. Of course, they want all updates in place and corrected no later than September 1st. Of course, we are under state review because it's year 3 for us, this year coming up. So we need to make sure all of our curriculums for math and language arts, and then their cross-references to every other content area, is updated over the summer months. The frustrating part is that many times not much has changed in the curriculums at all, but what they do is they'll change like the standard numbers and the standard code. So you're literally just cross-referencing and trying to make all those adjustments. So we will be working on that. Teachers have been asking about the Title I ESY program. We are hoping that that information will be going out for teachers to apply no later than next week, early next week, and then at the May board meeting, you will be approving summer hires for ESY and Title I. ESY, of course, is designated through IEP meetings. Title I program information goes out in 2 weeks. Trust me, I checked, because I know you want to ask me that. In 2 weeks, it will be going out for parents to sign up.
The plan for summer, is that what know there?
And that is July 8th through August 8th, 9 to 12, Monday through Thursday. That's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions? Principals report, nurses, building and ground, special education report were attached. Anything there? No? Anything on the PTA for us?
Basket auction, 17th.
May 17th. Meeting first every month, except April, which was during spring break, so it was the 10th. Let's see, ladies and gents, dance is Friday, April 26th, and
Who is in charge, who's the lead on the basket auction? Do you know? Is it Sam? Because she reached out to me about some things.
Christine.
Okay, I'll get in touch with her about it. We usually do a big item from the board, so I'll reach out to her tonight. Thank you. Any other committee reports at this time? No? Okay, new business. Under property and transportation, I need a motion to approve items numbers 1 through 5. Motion made by Barbie, seconded by Patty. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lindo?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes, sorry. Under personnel, I need a motion to approve items numbers 1 to 4.
I'll approve items 1 to 4. Make a motion.
Motion made by Maria,
I'll second.
second by Dennis. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lindo?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Finance is a big one. It's the month that we approve all of our partnerships and people that we have. What?
Next 2 months.
Next 2 months, yes. So for finance, it's 1 all the way to 52, and it looks like 50, 51, 52 were late additions, so if you want to take a look at them. Need a motion.
I'll make a motion for S1 to 52.
Motion made by Angel,
Second.
second by Lisa. So it was shared service agreement, fire protection, and pest control services that were added at the end. Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lindo?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under curriculum, I need a motion to approve items numbers 1 through 7.
I'll approve, make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Maria,
Items 1 to 7.
I'll second.
second by Angel. Any questions? Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lindo?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella? Ms.
Yes.
Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Under policy and public relations, I need approval for numbers 1 and 2.
I'll second.
Motion made by Barbie, I got you. Seconded by Maria, thank you. Any questions there? Roll call.
Ms. Adair?
Yes.
Ms. Beebe?
Yes.
Ms. Davidson?
Yes.
Ms. Farrell?
Yes.
Mr. Lindo?
Yes.
Ms. O'Brien?
Yes.
Ms. Panzarella?
Yes.
Ms. Samms?
Yes.
Ms. Spalding?
Yes.
Motion passes.
So that job description, all of the bullets are remaining the same, it's just the actual title.
Correct. And there was one thing that was added for that position for preschool instructional coach, that the individual needs to hold a multilingual degree, a special education degree, or a school administrative degree.
I was gonna say, where are you finding this person at? 'Cause I'm gonna steal
One
from
of those
you.
3 that was.
3D printer. Yes. Okay. At this time, is there any public comment? Any public comment at this time?
Can I add something?
Yes.
So I've sat in meetings over the last couple of months, official and unofficial, where people from the county and state have been present. And the one comment that is held true about our administration is that this will get resolved or short term. So just, kudos to like you and your office, both of you, in your office. It's just the amount of respect that is spoken of and felt from higher powers is very evident.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Yes, I agree.
Just because I'm sitting there, you have to hear it.
You have to hear it,
And it's
yes.
a preface to every meeting that I've sat in before the meeting starts for 2 months, and it's nothing but.
Thank you for letting us know that. No executive session is needed at this time. The next regular school board meeting is May 15th here at Volts at 6:30 PM. I need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Maria, seconded by Patty. All in favor? Ayes have it, meeting is adjourned.
Mr. Peel, happy graduation. Steve, happy graduation. I'm rolling my hairs. I still don't.
Hey, you know what? 95, I'll keep it. You've been lucky.